My message to leaders in business, government, and NGOs is very simple, and that is that if we are not closing the gaps will close us. We're all here to process and develop solutions for an inclusive economy, and I'm truly honored that I was asked to talk to you today about closing what I believe is a mission-critical gap, the gap on gender equality. I also want to share with you a view of the world which I hope motivates leaders to address other social issues of our time in a way which links business to the elevation of humanity, not to be charitable, but to yield stronger financial gains while working to bridge the various gaps that we've been discussing here over the last 2.5 days. So let's quickly explore why this is the right thing to do and how we can do it to scale. And let me first share with you the logic that I used in charting the path forward for my company, my story as a CEO, and the burden of responsibility that I had, not just to lead change, but to lead change that really mattered. You see, 3 years ago, I recognized that while we had attracted some of the best and brightest minds in the commercial real estate business, we looked too much like everyone else, which in turn created an unintended bias of normalization, when our bias should have been one of innovation and creativity. Our all-white male executive team operated with an unwritten code of, don't mess with my ideas and I won't mess with yours type dynamics, stymieing healthy debate, destroying healthy debate. This was groupthink at its worst. And against all of this sat some compelling research which showed a tremendous underutilized resource in the world known as women. They make up over half the planet, are responsible for committing only 5% of violent crimes, possess an abundance of leadership qualities, but for some strange reason, we pay them less, we elect them less, we hire them less, despite a plethora of evidence which shows that companies with women in greater than token proportions yield better financial returns and outperform their homogenous competitors. And in taking a critical look at our own organization, we found that our company's highest performers had historically been women and educated immigrants. Great, a golden opportunity for growth. We were simply missing out on a massive opportunity to not only do the right thing, but to actually reframe our focus and reframe our business model for greater profitability. And in the 18 months that followed, we completely restructured our organization for gender balance. Today, half of our executive positions are held by women, and I assure you there is now balanced perspective in our ideating. There's fierce but healthy debate in our executive meetings, and we are attracting and developing more women on the production side of our business than ever before. Our statutory board of directors is now 2/3 women. Our profit margins are at an all-time high, our risk at a 28-year low. And from a brand equity standpoint, it too is at its peak, and we now rank as the 6th most recognized CRE brand in the world. Folks, I'm not here to pound my chest. I'm simply proud of the way in which we've accomplished our goals, and I hope it inspires you. Now, if this shared value strategy sounds familiar, it should be. There's a large and growing movement underway of using business as a force for good. You may know it as social enterprise or conscious capitalism, social business, impact investing, and so on. We were talking about Michael Porter earlier today. He began promoting shared value in 2011 as a management strategy focused on companies creating measurable business value by identifying and addressing social problems which intersect with their businesses. And that, folks, is the key to addressing the number of gaps which present systemic risks to our economy, to our society. Let me leave you with a few final thoughts. The first is that profit and purpose are not mutually exclusive. Purpose catalyzes profit. And I encourage you to move beyond corporate social responsibility and marketing projects and put purpose at the center of your business model. Bake it into everything that you do. Use a core set of values to drive decisions. Purpose catalyzes profit. The second thought is this. Before you can disrupt or disintermediate a market, I think you have to disrupt and disintermediate yourself. You see, most of the case studies that we were served up in business school taught us to operate with what real leaders Will Murray termed a gain, grow, good growth strategy, where we devise a strategy to make as much money as possible, gain, use it to fuel a more with less strategy to grow profitable revenue, and then if there's anything left over, to perform some well-publicized corporate social responsibility. Good. And this gain-first mindset, folks, isn't creating any points of differentiation in companies. I promise you that. And it certainly isn't helping to solve any of our social issues. And the solution to this problem lies in our inverting that equation and to operating with a good first strategy, asking ourselves, what good can I do for society with the assets that I have? And adopting a growth agenda which will help close the gaps while simultaneously increasing profits. Good, grow, gain. Turn the equation on its head. The reality is that we don't have to make compromises on outdated thinking, especially regarding one of the seminal issues of our time. We can change the levers we pull and reframe the value proposition. And I encourage you to join me in using the power of businesses that you run or that you influence to reshape our economy and society to ensure that we have an inclusive future. Thank you.